Hi, welcome again to our mental health series. You're with me, Tanaka, and today we have been graced to have one of our partners coming to collaborate with us in this series. And I'll let them introduce themselves. Name, pronouns, who Leha is, and so on.
Hi everyone, my name is Susan Monde. My pronouns are she, they, and I am from Leha, which is an LBQ GNC organization based in Kiambu, and we work around Kiambu and Muranga, mostly Mount Kenya region, and we basically offer health, advocacy, research, economic empowerment on lived realities of LBQ persons, and now under each thematic area we have a vast activities that we do. For example, under health we do biomedical part of it, that is HIV screening and testing. We do STI screening and testing. We offer contraception. We do breast cancer and cervical cancer screening. And advocacy, we have community roundtable discussions. We have under advocacy, we have roundtable discussions. We have digital advocacy too, and under research, we basically just since our organization is very peer-led, we go down to understand what is the need, how do we better our programs to fit into the now, like basically since it's very evolving. And under economic empowerment, we market our people, we do entrepreneurial trainings, financial trainings, and we also do life skills. Currently, we're doing something very exciting. We're doing a candle. We are learning how to make candles.
Oh, wow.
So like the scented ones. Yes. We had one session last week. Yeah, and also under health, we have mental health. There we have a project called 3 Minutes of Silence that basically deals with the alternative ways of therapy, because people are not very receptive to the
one kind of therapy.
Yes. So we have yoga, we have football, we have karate and self-defense, we have dance, we have Zumba. It's an entire whole fun. We tend to make it fun so that people can show up more.
Yeah.
Because when you move your body, it helps. Yeah, basically in a nutshell.
I'm really looking forward to having more conversations with the program around mental health that you guys are doing, and I really love the idea of the candle making. You said, yeah, yes. And I guess the audience will also check out when you guys are up and running.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll be looking forward to that. And now I will switch to you, Christina. Please do introduce yourself.
My name's Christina. I work at Jinsiangu. Jinsiangu is an ITGNC-led organization. ITGNC is intersex, transgender, and gender non-conforming person-led organization. So I am the administrator in Jinsiangu, and I'm happy to be here. Yeah.
And thank you so much. We're also happy for you being here, and I'm looking forward to the candid conversations we're going to have through the time we'll be together.
Yeah.
Last but not least.
My name is Gathu. My pronouns are they, she. I am a peer educator at Leha. I am also a Rafiki at Mental Health 360. Mental Health 360 is an organization that is based in Kiambu County. The main goal and theme is suicide awareness and prevention in Kiambu County. Yes.
All right, thank you so much for that. And it's actually brought me to the next point that we were supposed to discuss about, and that is 10th of September, which is a day for commemorating suicide prevention and awareness creation. So I'll throw the ball back to you, of course, and tell us something about the day, what the day means to you, and the significance in your life and in the people around you.
So, this is the one day, honestly. The people, I think feel like this is the one day that people get to talk about suicide openly. Like the one day that you will see posts on everyone's status, like I'm so sure you have seen, and they will flow throughout the month, about suicide awareness creation, and even ways on how to handle it. I feel like the society we live in just puts that away, because it's because it's very heavy for them, or they're just, that one thing that happens in the family and no one talks about. They just wanakuangalia too. Yeah, I feel like suicide has been that thing in this society. Yeah, and this is the one day that I am actually here, really ready to talk about my experience. And I'm like, I really wish the people back there are also feeling seen and heard through it, and when they're battling with it.
Yeah, and I think it's a very important thing to point out that when a person is going through the suicide ideation, and we'll talk about that later on in the conversation, and when there's battling for their life and so on and so forth, we need to wanasema kusisitiza hawako peke yao, because we're here, and I think we'll also get to know about the lived realities when it comes to suicide and suicide ideations and all that. But before we even get into the conversations, I'd love if you could maybe tell us what suicide is, suicide attempts, suicide ideations, and all that.
Suicide is the intentional taking of your own life. And that is why we don't say people are committing suicide, we say people are dying of suicide, because it's intentional. Suicide ideations is the thoughts you get of, maybe I should end my own life, maybe this is too much and I need to put a pause on it, maybe I need to put an end to it. Yeah, those are the suicide ideations that people get. Yeah.
And Christina, I was wondering, maybe you could tell us, as an ITGNC, a gender diverse person, what is your lived realities and your experience with such a topic that we're talking about, that is suicide, and
Wow. First and foremost, as an ITGNC person, I represent transgender community, and we are minority. I understand that. And most of the stigma from the community and abuse, those are the perpetrators of violence and the perpetrators of suicidal thoughts. And I think in society, we have to agree that people reaches in an extent of where they are not feeling like they can live anymore. So on my part, I think ITGNC person, and mostly transgender people who have transitioned fully, are very much on that spectrum of suicidal. And I think it's because of many people don't care about trans people. They don't even recognize who are trans people. They don't even want to hear about transitioning or you diverting from this to this. Well, that's what society say. But I think it is a lot in our community. And I think that is one of the perpetrator of the death in the community of ITGNC. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. I think it's a point that umeifanya vizuri. Umesema vizuri. When it comes to the environmental factors, the fact that the society is the one that inaleta hiyo stigma na discrimination, alafu inakuchanganyisha akili, and you feel very hopeless when you don't have your sense of community.
Sure.
What about you, Sue? Other than environmental factors, what other factors are there?
I think now this I will talk about it in a very personal level. Economical factors, because I think during that time when I was going through that, a lot of it was the pressure of hey manzi, mnyi mnajua Kenya mnyi mnajua hapa pesa. You all know that, but then that's not just it, because I had a job. I had a good job during that time. But now, the job was taking all my time and not paying me enough. But that was just one factor in my life at that time, that I was just feeling like I need change. I am tired. Yeah. There were now the personal aspects of it, because at that point I had just turned 25, and African homes. Unaolewa lini? Where's our grandchild? Like, there was pressure from home, pressure from work, pressure from now the society of, like, I am a non-binary person and they need you to conform, and it's back to back. So now there was so much pressure that was surrounding me being, for example, this glass, all these aspects around me were already suffocating me, and I felt like I needed out. Gadu had mentioned about wanting a pause in something. I needed to breathe. I was not breathing. I needed to chill. And at that time, in where I was in life, that is all I knew. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing with us that experience that you had gone through that time of your life. Gadu, what from your lived experience, what are some of the risk factors, or
For me, when I thought that this is too much, it all came from being bullied. I was being bullied so much in school, and I thought, why should I live like this? I thought that people who live like me, look like me, have a lifestyle like mine, are not supposed to exist. So I thought, oh well, let's just stop everything, because if I'm not needed here, why do I fight so much to be there if I am not needed? So for me, bullying really played a huge role to it, and also cultural beliefs that watu kama nyinyi hawako, you're kind, and I'm like, what is my kind? I do not know what my kind is. I'm just a normal human being fighting for normal human rights. Yes, so bullying really put me at the edge. I was already at the cliff with everything that is happening at school, and then bullying was that pushing end.
So a question that's popped kwa akili yangu ni, as people wenye tume experience your like this battling with holding on to our lives, and let's say there's a person X, can you really tell that enyewe umse ako karibu kunyuria unacheki or to commit suicide, sorry. Tina.
Okay, ni ngumu sana kueleza, but sometimes there is that reaction and overreaction of attitude change. Sometimes people being more, they have more energy than they always do. But also sometimes people who are going through that situation, it's also hard to tell, because they eliminate themselves from public, and also they don't want to have friends, they don't want to share whatever they are going through. So it's hard, and sometimes you can tell, but if at all someone is your friend, or someone has shared any idea, or mtu tu unaona ayuko sawa,
ayuko kawaida yake.
Yeah, and that's why most of ITGNC person, they are going through that a lot. But watu hawajui, and because of identity and gender and transitioning, that impact inakuwa a burden to ITGNC community, and mostly even to trans women. It become a burden. You take hormones daily. Sometimes you have drug burden. Yeah, those contribution. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Napenda venye umepoint out the synergies. Napenda venye umepoint out hiyo aspect ya like unaona mtu anaji-withdraw from society, from kawaida things, from whatever, hata job. But yeah, thank you for that. Inanikumbusha hata mimi niki-struggle na my episodes. Gadu, ulikuwa unasema when we were discussing earlier on, ulikuwa unasema there's something inaitwa masking. What is masking?
There are people who will pull away, and then there are people who will come out. I am used to, if I feel like I am very, very depressed, and I'm around people who are very jovial, I'm going to mask my depressive episodes and take on masking. As in, I am masking if I'm with Susan. Susan is very jovial. We're taking shots. We're doing everything. We're going shopping. Susan is very, very happy. I don't want to be a downer, so I'm going to mask Susan. I'm going to be happy. So that is why knowing whether someone is trying to commit suicide or not is kind of tricky for people who can mask. People who can take on the appearance of another person and be happy as they are. That is why people will be like, when someone dies of suicide, they'll be like, they were so happy.
Yeah, what happened?
What happened? What changed? Hapo katikati? What went wrong? It's because this person masked you. They were very, very happy. They were very, very jovial while they were with you. Maybe it was their way of saying goodbye or not. But there is that. Also, there is this thing of knowing whether someone is about to attempt suicide. By people, you can know. But like for me, I had a friend who had held and are holding it very dear. This thing, they cannot give it to you. Ata ulize aje. But the one time they attempted suicide, they had given me that thing. So you can know by people giving you very prized possessions that they own, you can know that this person, maybe.
Might be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all about how una read the room.
Yeah.
So, Sue, I wanted to ask, why is it so hard for people to actually talk about suicide, come out and create awareness around it, and destigmatize what suicide is and the whole package?
So I think okay, let me break it down. You see how growing up we were never, like, no one sat us down and talked to us about sex. How it was a taboo to even talk about it. It was a taboo to even think about it in an African home. I mean, you can't even give reference to it because no one is giving you right information. No one is giving you space to be able to express your thoughts around it. No one is even giving you the time of day for you to sit and even understand, what is this? How do we do this? How do we go about this? When someone does this, is it wrong? That's why, like, there was a lot of abuse growing up, yeah? Now suicide is like that, yeah? It has been seen as a taboo in the society for so long, such that sometimes when people succumb to suicide, they are just buried. And I'll say it like that because it depends with the culture and the community, because there are cultures who do not bury people who succumb to suicide respectfully, right? So it's been a taboo for so long. People don't have the information. They don't even have a way to go around it, yeah? Such that when you now start talking about it, you will see people dispersing, literally, because they don't know what to say, what not to say. They tackle it like, they just tiptoe around it. Ile kitu. I'm like, what is the ile kitu? What is it? Mention it. Name it as it is, such that you can be able to cascade this information in the right way. Yeah? Tell people this is real. I am a survivor of it. Yeah? Like owning our stories. There's so much shame around it because there is so much invalidation. It's constantly about unajifanya. Unataka tu attention. Right? Like continuously, every now and then. And this makes now people just not. The people who are going through it already they're ashamed of themselves for thinking about it, because society is telling you one thing and you're feeling the other thing, and you cannot find someone who, or even find a space where you can be able to now just sit, like have this conversation we're having right here. I feel like there are no enough spaces for that. Even within the spaces that we think we thought will be very safe to talk about it, hata huko kuna a lot of discrimination around it. People are just afraid to talk about it. And now I have a question about it, right? Like, is it because they're afraid of it, or is it because they are afraid of what you might tell them about it? Like if they start talking about suicide in a room of like 7 people, are people afraid that if we talk about this, people will go and try? Or are people afraid that if we talk about this, 5 people are victims of it?
I like the point that you put out that in our African setting, when it comes to suicide and conversations around suicide, that because I remember when I was maybe in 2017 when I was in Form 4, I was nearly poor, down, and I was struggling with it. Every week I was trying, and my siblings realized that I have self-harm marks. So the conversation started there. Oh, you'll never amount to anything. You know, if you die, we'll just beat your body up. And we won't. Yeah, exactly. So you know, in African settings, like they'll actually exactly, and it's really sad that people don't want to be like, even Jovito Ziko. Now we have to look for ways to better this because you were telling me, what are the statistics in Kenya? Yeah, watu wenye wamepitia wenye wame commit suicide now, especially from where you're coming from, Kiambu. Tell us something about that.
Oh, so statistically,
Hey.
in Kenya,
Yeah.
in the past 2 years, there has been 483 reported cases. Reported cases are the cases that chief or police stations or hospitals that are reported of people dying of suicide, and 109 of those cases are from Kiambu County.
That's a big number.
A whole large number, and those are the cases that are reported. Because there is so much shame and stigma around people dying of suicide that you find that these people, if I die of suicide, my family is gonna be like, no, alikufa tu, ama alilala hakuamka. They're not going to report to a chief or the police station that this person died of suicide. So as long as those statistics are high, but these statistics are also all reported cases. The shame around, like Susan was saying, there's so much shame around suicide that we tend to tiptoe about it. Also, there's this issue of if I have attempted suicide and you're my family, you do not know how to handle it. You feel like you're walking on eggshells. I think this is also a conversation that people should have, like how to integrate back people who have tried to attempt suicide back into society. Don't tiptoe around that. You don't even talk to these people because you don't know their tipping points. Sijui nitasema nini nikurudishe where you came.
They're walking on eggshells.
Yes. So there is also that.
Tina, would you like to tell us something?
Yeah, I think I have also a scenario of a lived reality where I think I should share this. I have a lived reality of my father. My father committed suicide, and it was back in 2012. And all the effect and whatever contributed to that, it was anonymous. And till today, that's why I'm here. I want to encourage people, and I want also to create awareness, because when people commit suicide, you don't know why. They leave us with marks. They leave us with stress, and also grieving about those stress and marks also can contribute to other genetic committing suicide. I don't want to say committing suicide is a genetical thing, but it can also be a genetical because of those traumas and those segment of continuous abuse, continuous traumas, and maybe because, like, a better scenario to explain about myself. When my dad died, we were all discriminated by society. My mother lost friends. I lost friends. I was also in my transitional journey. And I want to encourage people. It's a tough journey, and I think it's all about being strong and knowing how you relate with yourself. Do you love yourself? Do you know who you are? Do you believe you can make it? Because I think those inspiration and meditation and whatever thoughts you have about yourself contribute too much towards implication can come in some scenario of suicidal. So I don't want to talk too much, because that moment, that scenario always remained like a dream in my life. I don't know who can replace my dad. I don't know how I can relate, but it's still a mental health problem to me. And when we talk about suicidal, it's a public health problem.
Yes.
And people never narrate about this. And most in health services, there is no inclusion of
The support that you can
suicidal
give
in public health. So I think we need more advocacy, we need more awareness, and continuous education, continuous capacity building. Because I think I've not I think I always say I healed because saying this to society is giving people that momentum, that healing is all what I advocate for, and that's how I found myself being an activist.
Yeah, that's
Of
amazing.
meaning
health.
human health, mental health, and also human lives. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing with us that story. As we're about to wrap up, I would like to throw the ball onto your court and tell us, because we've heard from Tina the support that you can give someone, creating awareness, telling you that it's okay to actually feel these emotions, but you're not alone, and you'll never be alone if we're here, right? So I would want to hear from you, like the type of support that you can give from your capacity. You said you work for Yes, Mental Health 360. Now tell us something about the support that can come from that.
Okay. So Mental Health 360 has a support group-based approach. Support groups is kind of like AA meetings where people who have faced, who are going through a healing through from suicide of loved ones, of people who have attempted suicide, people who have suicide ideations, can come together, talk about it, and feel like, yeah, I am not alone. That is one of the approaches that my organization is using, Mental Health 360. Also, there is another thing called psychological first aid. Psychological first aid is the initial support that you give to someone who is going through a traumatic event or emotional distress. Like if I called you right now, Tanaka, nimegongwa na gari, I am expecting you to, one, have active listening, two, offer emotional guidance, and three, be empathetic to at that point in time. This also happens when people are attempting suicide. Like there are people who have second thoughts when they're attempting suicide. They can be like, okay, maybe I just need one phone call. If this one phone call can help me change my mind, I'm not gonna do it. So when that person calls you, you're the first call, psychological first aid. It's your not duty really, but it's kind of your duty to persuade this person, to listen to this person, to empathize with this person. That is psychological first aid. Also, where people can get help. I am in Mental Health 360, and we have a helpline that you can call anytime, any day. It's 0710 360 360. 0710 360 360. There is also 0770 360 360. You can call that. You can be directed to a therapist, which is another option. and that is your first guideline from how to proceed from where you are.
Thank you so much for that. And I believe the numbers, the contacts, the websites will be attached on the description. They'll be popped up. Unajua wale wa graphics design. Hizo zote zitaelewa hapo more. And thank you also to my panelists for sharing with us very intimate conversations and being real and being frank. And to you, the audience, if you're watching this and you're going through something, I just want to reassure you, and I think me and my panelists really want to reassure you that you're not alone in this and you won't be alone. Just reach out. And yeah, for the IT Gen-Z community watching this, the contacts information for, because in Jinsiangu we have a therapist as well, the contact information will be there, the website and all that. For any questions, feel free to reach out. Would you like to say something?
And for Leha too, they will be attached down there. We also have a psychologist who usually does teletherapy, and we also partner with an organization that totally does now therapy. They only have psychologists, and that way they have like 7, so they're always like on call. Yeah.
That's really amazing. So we have from Kiambu, from Nairobi, and I'm pretty sure we can connect you to the people around the country if you need any assistance. Thank you so much for your time, for your patience, for sharing with us, and also to the audience. Thank you so much, and see you in the next video. Asanteni. Yay! Nimesikia ni cut. Alright guys,